Hello there people, my name is Gloomy Lady and this is my first video. And as this is my first video, I'm incredibly nervous and I might do a lot of things wrong, but bear with me. This channel is mostly going to be either horror stories that I find on Reddit or real life stories and or just creepy encounters. I'll also occasionally cover nice guys or incels. Just remember that this is all for fun and yeah, enjoy. The first video I wanted to do is about a post I saw on Tumblr this summer. It was a really weird post that I saw about a guy that wanted rabies. His profile is named Rabbit Loving, and this is his post. This is going to be an extremely unpopular opinion, so bear with me. I don't think that children should be vaccinated unless they really absolutely want to. And if they grow up into adults and still don't want to be vaccinated, then so be it. Kids are too young to fully grasp what vaccination does to you, and I don't mean that they'll make you autistic and die away. I mean they don't understand what they're setting themselves up for in the future. Shots are pretty traumatic for children too, but that's another story. If a child is too young to consent to sex or medical transition if they're trans, they're definitely too young to consent to a vax. I haven't had any contact with my family for quite some time now, and I have a hard time knowing my medical history, especially with my lack of health insurance and a move to a different country. Because of that, I live with the constant fear. Because with that, I live with the constant fear that I might have been vaccinated against rabies. My family was extremely poor and had spotty health insurance, but it's hard to say. But it's fucking heartbreaking to know I might never be fully rabid because my parent might have vaccinated me as a child. When I was too young to have a say in it. How many other kids are there just like me? How many adults have grown up miserable because they've been vaccinated against a genetic disposition for a certain disease? It's particularly in unis, and it makes me fucking sick to my stomach. There are babies right now getting vaxxed because that's healthy for them, and their parents have no idea how much grief they're causing right now. So yeah, maybe stop vaccinating your kids. Okay, the first thing I want to say is, what the hell? First of all, rabies is not a genetic disease, it's a transmitted disease that you can get from dogs or animals or blood. Second of all, this is sick. And while we're at it, I will check out the other post where he told the Tumblr community his story. My rabies story. I have always had a particularly closeness to the concept of rabies, and identified as a rabio-romantic before my diagnosis. I decided for the sake of my mental health I should become infected. This past year I met a girl online who was born with rabies, and she could infect me. We met up this last June and excused too much for information, took part in BDSM sex. She bit me really hard on the shoulder until I bled, and I've had rabies ever since. I refuse to go to a doctor as they tend to not understand rabio or virosexuals, so please don't ask me to. Does this mean you're going to die soon? The short answer is no. Contrary to the belief, rabies doesn't actually kill you. I'm in the incubation period at the moment, so I have no symptoms. Everyone experiences rabies differently, and I could potentially have lived a full, happy life. For example, the girl who bit me was born with rabies and hasn't died yet. Are you going to infect other people? No, not unless they really want me to. I currently curb my biting impulses by biting into raw steaks, so I'm fine and safe to be around. Alright, so the virus is almost always infected from an animal to a human and almost never to a human to another human. And the virus almost always causes death. On a lighter note, the guy that made the post and had the Tumblr is currently in treatment, and I hope that he's recovering. Alright, and that's it for my first video. I hope you liked it, and I am so sorry if I pronounce words wrong or I just cannot pronounce them. It's because I am not the best at English and such. Another note is I'm sorry if this is not the best edited or the best sound. This is my first video after all, and I have absolutely no experience with editing and video editing. But I hope you liked the video, and if you want more content like this, please subscribe, and I will see you soon.